Hi, I'm the Free American Thinker, and I wanted to talk to you guys today about the concept of what infinity is. What is infinity? Infinity is a very interesting concept. It is a thought in mathematics, really. It is not a number. And if we're going to entertain the thought of what an infinity is, you could ask this question an infinite number of times, and it would produce an infinite number of perspectives and answers as to what it is. So that in and of itself should give you an idea of what infinity is. At best, infinity is a thought. Infinity is the representation of consciousness. You see, everything, not everything, but a lot of the human mind, the dense three-dimensional brain, likes to compute and likes to put numbers and values on things. And, academics, scientists, physicists, normal people throughout the world, when we talk about the three-dimensional plane of Earth, we talk about there's a finite number of water, there's a finite number of oxygen atoms, there's a finite number of mass, and all this stuff, and a finite number of energy. And that is true in a contained finite space, but actually that is not true at all, because there is an infinite universe that we live in, and so this is just a plane, a three-dimensional intersection of the number of infinity. And the reason why I'm trying to get to that is because, or wanted to mention that, is because consciousness is infinite. And infinity is a symbol that we use to represent infinity. Infinity is a symbol that we use to really actually represent consciousness, because our minds can continuously think throughout all of time, forever, something never ending. Right? If I were to think about going on a road or a rocket through space infinitely, I can always add another mile. I can always add another dimension. I can always add another universe, another planet, another way of doing something. I can write on a piece of paper an infinite number of times, an infinitely long number that is an infinite representation of infinity. Where are these ideas coming from? These ideas are coming from the mind. Our mind is infinite. Our consciousness is infinite because God is infinite, because the universe is infinite. There is an infinite amount of energy in the universe that is available to us through quiet meditation and prayer and reflection. And you do not need to pray all the time to see this. By thinking, even the fact that we can think about infinity, actually quite easily in some ways, although it can be difficult to comprehend, we can imagine something never ending forever, because our thoughts and our consciousness is infinite, and it is not just bound by our brains. I wanted to draw the symbol for infinity because I thought it was appropriate to see it. Most people should know what it looks like. But this is infinity. A point that you start on, you go around, intersect, and you keep going. You can think all day about what this intersect represents, but I could do this forever and ever and ever. And so this symbol is actually really important, because what it means is and Einstein talked about this, but the idea of infinity is the idea of creativity and a never-ending existence of thought. And the universe, the fabric of the universe itself, is actually consciousness. So we can talk about that later. But I wanted to talk about the very fact that we have this symbol exists purely and only because we are able to think about it. And because we are able to think about it, it exists. And thus, because we are able to think about it, and thus because it exists, it in and of itself continues and has no end, because we can infinitely add to it, look at it again, and change it. And we can infinitely add a number of finite numbers to try to comprehend it, but we'll never finish. That is why in mathematics we don't really put a value on infinity. What we actually do is we describe behavior as something approaches infinity reasonably. And that should say and tell a lot about what infinity is that we observe behavior around it or in direction of it but we can never contain it. And that in and of itself is the idea of the human soul, right? I don't care if it's 1,000 years from now, I don't care if it's 500,000 years from now, I don't care if it's 2 billion years from now. We will still be in a process of continually trying to understand ourselves and our consciousness, because it in and of itself is infinite. So we can only start looking at behavior as it approaches infinity and ourselves and our thinking. And to me, that's a really beautiful thought, because I love the idea of something never ending. I love the idea of always having a new opportunity to expand and think about something, because that means that there is always room for improvement, self-betterment, and more, an infinite number of interactions with other people forever, which is really a nice thought. God bless. The truth is inside you.